Human bodies come in many different shapes and sizes, but some people have physical features so extraordinary that they have amazed scientists and captured the curiosity of millions around the world. From rare genetic conditions to unbelievable natural variations, these individuals possess some of the largest body parts ever recorded. In today's video, we're counting down 13 people with the largest body parts in the world that you won't believe actually exist. Are you new in this video? Click subscribe and hit notification bell, so let's get started. Meet Andrea Emilova Ivanova, a controversial influencer from Bulgaria who has become known worldwide for her extreme cosmetic transformations. Born in Sofia, she first began altering her appearance in 2018 when she was about 21 years old. Her main goal? To have the world's largest lips. Over time, she's had dozens of lip filler injections, by some counts over 30 injections, and has poured tens of thousands of dollars into lip enhancements alone. But her transformation goes beyond just her lips. Andrea has also modified her cheekbones, chin, jawline, and even her breast size, from 75C to 75E, in her pursuit of her ideal look. Her aesthetic vision is heavily inspired by exaggerated beauty standards. She often refers to wanting to look like a Bratz doll, embracing bold features, heavy makeup, sharp face contours, large lips and cheeks. She has stated that natural beauty is boring and that she prefers eccentric, standout looks. The cost of this ongoing transformation has been significant. On lip fillers alone, she spent more than $26,000. Modifications in other facial parts and enhancements have added further cost. There are also warnings from medical experts. Risks like tissue necrosis, death of body tissue due to blocked blood flow, are being raised, especially since she's undergone very aggressive procedures. At one point, having 6 cosmetic procedures in one day: lips, chin, jaw, cheekbone enhancements, etc. Despite all the attention, both passionate support and criticism, Andrea says she feels happier and more confident with her transformed appearance. She openly expresses her desire to continue pushing the limits of these enhancements, aiming not just for the biggest lips, but also to develop the biggest cheekbones and create sharper, more dramatic facial features. Her journey raises a lot of questions about beauty, self-expression, how far is too far, and at what cost. But for Andrea, this all seems to be a choice, one she stands by despite warnings, pain, and skepticism. Meet Mehmet Özürek, born October 17, 1949, in Yusufeli, Artvin Province, Turkey. A man who earned global fame thanks to a truly unique physical trait. He held the Guinness World Record for the longest nose, male. His nose measured 880 centimeters, 346 inches, from the bridge to the tip. That measurement was most recently reconfirmed in 2020 and 2021, dispelling the myth that noses always get bigger with age. Growing up, Mehmet was sometimes bullied because of the size of his nose. But as he got older, he adopted a different perspective. He called his nose a blessing. He often claimed that his sense of smell was sharper than average. In interviews, he'd say things like, "I say there is a smell here. Others say they don't smell it." Mehmet also liked to use humor when talking about his nose. At one point, he even said he could inflate a balloon using it. Sadly, Mehmet Özürek passed away in May 2023 from a heart attack. He was 73 years old. His life reminds us that sometimes the things which make us different can become our most known legacy. Anastasia Pokryschuk is one of the most talked about internet personalities when it comes to extreme plastic surgery. Hailing from Ukraine, Anastasia shot to viral fame after dramatically altering her appearance. Most notably, by injecting her cheeks to massive proportions. She proudly calls herself the woman with the biggest cheeks in the world, and her look continues to shock and fascinate millions online. Anastasia didn't always look like this. In older photos, she appeared as a typical young woman, but her insecurities about her appearance led her down a path of drastic cosmetic procedures. Starting with fillers, Botox, and later experimenting with facial contouring and lip enhancements, she quickly became addicted to the transformation process. In interviews, she's admitted to injecting her own fillers at home without a licensed professional. Despite the backlash and concern from viewers around the world, Anastasia remains unapologetic. She sees her look as a form of self-expression and claims her extreme features make her feel more confident and beautiful. For her, this is art, and the stares and criticism only fuel her online persona. But while she thrives on the attention, many have questioned the psychological impact behind such extreme body modification. Experts and fans alike worry that she may be suffering from body dysmorphic disorder or developing a dangerous addiction to surgery. Anastasia's story raises tough questions. Where's the line between personal freedom and self-harm? Is this confidence or a cry for help? Whether you see her as a bold beauty rebel or a tragic example of cosmetic obsession, one thing is certain: Anastasia Pokryschuk is impossible to ignore. Kenneth Brumley was born in 1968 and became known as one of the heaviest people ever recorded, with a confirmed weight of around 468 kilos, approximately 1,033 pounds. In his youth, he played sports like basketball, baseball, and American football, activities that kept his weight more controlled. But after he moved to California at age 19, he stopped participating in those athletic activities, and his weight began to climb rapidly. At his peak, Brumley's daily calorie intake reportedly reached around 30,000 calories, an amount that would sustain many people for more than a week. He was bedridden for years due to the extreme weight, with sources indicating he was unable to leave bed for 4 to 15 years. His size became such a severe medical challenge that when he was finally accepted for weight loss surgery at the Renaissance Hospital in Houston, a fire crew had to break through a wall in his home in order to remove him. The documentary Half-Ton Dad, Channel 4, featured his story, highlighting the obstacles of mobility, medical risk, and the extreme nature of his condition. During treatment, his first step was a strict diet reportedly reduced to 1,200 calories per day. In just 40 days, he lost about 76 kilograms. Kenneth Brumley's case is notable not only for the sheer scale of weight involved, but also for the physical, psychological, and medical complexities that come with such extreme obesity. His journey serves as a stark reminder of how far the human body can be pushed, and the daunting challenge of reversing such conditions. Meet Miko Raffanelli, a woman whose incredible body shape has made headlines around the world. Born in Los Angeles, California, Miko is known for having what many call the widest hips in the world, measuring an astonishing 8 feet around, or about 2.4 meters in circumference. Standing only 5 foot 4 inches tall and weighing around 420 pounds, Miko's body is truly one of a kind. Her unique shape developed gradually after the birth of her 4 children. She says that after each pregnancy, her hips grew wider until they reached their record-breaking size. Daily life isn't always easy. Miko needs special furniture, a custom-made bed, and even drives a truck instead of a car to fit comfortably. Walking through narrow doorways or sitting in public seats can be a challenge, but she faces it all with confidence and humor. Despite negative comments online, Miko embraces her body completely. She's proud of her figure and works as a plus-size model and body positivity advocate, encouraging others to love themselves just the way they are. As she once said, "My hips are who I am. They make me unique, and I wouldn't change that for anything." Her story reminds us that beauty truly comes in all shapes and sizes, and that confidence is what makes anyone stand out. Diana Armstrong is a woman from Minnesota, USA, who holds the official Guinness World Record for the longest fingernails on a pair of hands ever recorded. Her fingernails have a combined length of over 42 feet, more than 12 meters, a record that was officially recognized by Guinness World Records. Diana began growing her fingernails in 1997 as a personal tribute to her daughter, who passed away that same year. What started as an emotional decision later became one of the most extreme and recognizable human records in the world. Over the years, her nails continued to grow naturally without being cut, eventually reaching lengths that most people could hardly imagine. Living with such extraordinarily long fingernails comes with daily challenges. Diana has spoken about the difficulty of performing simple tasks such as cooking, cleaning, and getting dressed. She must carefully protect her nails at all times to prevent damage, making everyday life far more complicated than usual. Despite these challenges, Diana views her nails as a symbol of love, strength, and remembrance. Her story is not just about record-breaking length, but also about emotional resilience and dedication. Today, Diana Armstrong remains one of the most remarkable examples of how deeply personal choices can lead to extraordinary and unforgettable human records. Katia Page was an American advocate who became widely known for living with lipedema and lymphedema, two rare and progressive medical conditions that cause abnormal fat buildup and chronic swelling, most commonly in the legs. Unlike ordinary weight gain, lipedema cannot be cured by diet or exercise, and it is often misdiagnosed, leaving many patients untreated for years. As Katia's condition progressed, her legs continued to grow to an extreme size, affecting her mobility, daily life, and overall health. Instead of hiding from public view, she chose to speak openly about her experience to educate others. She became known online as the Lipedema Queen, using social media and interviews to spread awareness and support people, especially women, who were silently suffering from the same condition. Katia's story reached a global audience after she appeared in the documentary My Legs Won't Stop Growing, where she shared the physical pain, emotional struggles, and medical challenges she faced every day. Her honesty helped break the stigma around rare body conditions and corrected the misconception that lipedema is simply obesity. Today, Katia Page is remembered not for her condition alone, but for her courage, compassion, and advocacy. Her legacy continues to educate the public and inspire empathy toward people living with rare and misunderstood medical conditions. Meet Basheen, a model from Germany who's gained international fame for having some of the largest breast implants in the world. Standing out with her extreme proportions, Basheen has transformed her body through multiple surgeries, each step bringing her closer to her dream of a unique and bold appearance. Her bust reportedly weighs over 20 pounds, 9 kilograms each, making simple tasks like sleeping, walking, and exercising a real challenge. But for Basheen, this transformation isn't about comfort. It's about confidence, identity, and standing out in a world where looking different gets you noticed. She's become a social media icon, often sharing her daily life, modeling shoots, and behind-the-scenes moments with her followers. Love it or not, Basheen embraces her look with pride and humor. Her message? Be bold, be fearless, and don't let the world define your beauty. Define it for yourself. Meet Mandy Sellers, born 20th of February 1975 in Lancashire, England. She lives with a rare genetic mutation that causes local gigantism in both of her legs, meaning her lower body grows massively, out of proportion from the rest of her frame. From early childhood, Mandy's legs and feet were abnormally large. As she grew up, the condition worsened. At one point, her legs weighed up to 17 stone, 238 lbs or about 108 kilos, while her upper body remained slender. In 2006, some doctors thought she had Proteus syndrome, a very rare disorder of overgrowth, famously linked to the elephant man. But more recent genetic testing identified a mutation in the PIK3CA gene as the underlying cause for Mandy's condition. In 2010, things came to a crisis. One of her legs became infected and developed septicemia, forcing doctors to amputate her left leg above the knee for her safety. However, even after amputation, the stump started growing again with alarming speed. Within about 22 months it ballooned, growing in circumference to about a meter around in parts. It became too heavy for her prosthetic leg to handle. Doctors found some hope when they prescribed a trial drug targeting the mutated gene. Over time, this treatment helped reduce the weight of her legs by several stone, 6-stone drop, and eased her mobility somewhat, even if she remains largely housebound. Despite the many physical challenges, infections, mobility issues, needing special clothes and vehicles, long periods in hospital, Mandy is vocal about being proud of who she is. She has been part of TV documentaries and has used her story to raise awareness about rare growth disorders. Her story is one of resilience, embracing a body that many would see as a burden, but finding strength, identity, and even hope through her journey. Meet Yu Jiangxia, a woman from Shanghai, China, who holds the official title for the longest individual eyelash ever recorded. According to Guinness World Records, her upper left eyelash was carefully measured on May 20th, 2021 in Shanghai and reached an astonishing length of 20.5 centimeters, or 8.07 inches. That's longer than a standard smartphone. But what makes her story even more remarkable is that this record didn't happen overnight. Yu Jiangxia first entered the record books in 2016, when her eyelash measured 12.4 centimeters. Even at that time, it was already considered extraordinary. However, instead of stopping, the eyelash continued to grow naturally over the years, adding another 8.1 centimeters by 2021. What's even more fascinating is that she has stated she did not use special products, extensions, or treatments to achieve this length. The growth happened naturally. In interviews, Yu Jiangxia has shared that she believes her unusually long eyelash may be connected to years of meditation and spiritual practice. While there is no scientific confirmation linking meditation to eyelash growth, doctors agree that such extreme growth is extremely rare. Today, her record remains unbeaten, turning a simple eyelash into a global phenomenon, and proving that sometimes the most unexpected features can make history. In a small village in Sichuan Province, China, an elderly woman became the center of international attention because of a rare and unusual medical condition. Her name is Liang Shuzhen, an 87-year-old villager from Guian Village in Xi'an City. Locals and media later nicknamed her the Unicorn Woman, due to a horn-like growth that developed in the middle of her forehead. According to reports from her son, Wang Chaojun, it all began around 8 years earlier as what appeared to be a small black mole on her head. At first it didn't seem serious, but over time the growth slowly became larger and harder. Then, about 2 years later, something shocking happened. The mole developed into a finger-sized, horn-like mass protruding from her forehead. As the growth continued, it became more visible and more unusual in appearance. Medical experts believe the condition is known as a cutaneous horn, a rare skin growth made of compacted keratin, the same protein found in human hair and nails. While these growths can vary in size, large and visible cases like Liang's are extremely uncommon. Although the nickname Unicorn Woman spread quickly in the media, her story is ultimately about an elderly woman living quietly in a rural village, facing an unusual medical condition later in life. Her case reminds us that sometimes rare medical phenomena can appear unexpectedly, even in the most ordinary lives. Meet Samantha. Sam Ramsdell, a TikTok star and comedian from Norwalk, Connecticut, who has become known around the world for one striking physical feature, her record-breaking mouth gape. In 2021, when she was about 31 years old, Sam set a Guinness World Record for the largest mouth gape, female. She can open her mouth 6.52 centimeters, about 2.56 inches, from top to bottom. Not only that, but measured widthwise, her mouth spans roughly 10.33 centimeters, 4.07 inches. Growing up, Sam wasn't totally comfortable with her unusually large mouth. She faced teasing and insults, kids called her names, and it made her feel insecure. But over time, she flipped the script. Her mouth went from being something she tried to hide to something she embraces and even celebrates. Social media played a big role. Sam's TikTok videos, comedy, singing, and showing off her mouth size helped her gain thousands, then millions of followers. One of her favorite things to do is to try fitting large items in her mouth. A whole green apple, large fries, an orange, or a giant cookie. It's part of what surprises people and what made her famous. Now, Sam often refers to her record not just as a quirky fact, but something empowering. She says her mouth, once a source of insecurity, is now one of her biggest strengths. She tells people, "Yes, I have a big mouth, but at least I have the biggest one in the world." Her story shows how something that feels like a flaw can become a superpower. Confidence, self-acceptance, and owning what makes you different. That's Samantha Ramsdell's message.
Dan Moorer, a resident of Battle Creek, Michigan, spent 7 agonizing years battling a debilitating condition, scrotal lymphedema. His scrotum grew uncontrollably, bordering on 75 to 100 pounds, or roughly the weight of 5 bowling balls, making walking, showering, and even using the toilet nearly impossible. Doctors initially misdiagnosed him, often telling him to lose weight. Even though he diligently slimmed down, the swelling kept intensifying. His breakthrough came after watching a TLC documentary about Wesley Warren Jr., who had a similar condition. Inspired, Dan sought out Warren's surgeon, Dr. Joel Gelman at UC Irvine, to finally get proper care. In 2014, Dan underwent a grueling 14-hour surgery performed by a multidisciplinary medical team in California. The procedure removed approximately 80 pounds, 36 kilograms of tissue from his scrotum, and another 70 pounds of fat from his abdomen, a life-altering transformation. Post-surgery, Dan dropped about 150 pounds, regained mobility, and even reunited intimately with his wife Mindy, whom he hadn't been able to be intimate with for 7 years. Despite being physically stronger after the procedure, he embarked on a demanding rehab journey to relearn walking, shed more weight, and rebuild his life. Dan later reflected on his recovery with newfound hope and optimism, saying, "He's been in a cage for 7 years and now he's got new hope." His story also raised awareness about a condition he believed to be more common than people realize, urging that we need to talk about it. I just want to help educate people.
Human diversity is truly remarkable, and the individuals in this video remind us just how unique the human body can be. From rare conditions to record-breaking features, their stories show that every person has something extraordinary about them. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible people, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Aaron Polo TV for more fascinating stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.